If I told you that you could grow more protein in a single raised bed than most people get from a package of ground beef, you'd probably think I was exaggerating. I'm not. Today I'm walking you through 12 plants, all of them things you can grow right at home, no deep digging and no bending your back over a tilled row, that actually beat common cuts of meat gram for gram in protein. Some of these you already know. A few of them are going to genuinely surprise you. And number 7 on this list is the one almost nobody thinks to plant, even though it might be the single most protein-dense thing you can grow in a backyard. So let's get into it, starting with the easiest one to grow. Number 1 is green peas. Most people think of peas as a side dish, not a protein source, but a single cup of cooked peas gives you close to 9 grams of protein. And peas are one of the simplest crops there is for anyone gardening in raised beds or containers. You don't need to bend or dig, just set up a trellis or some netting, and the vines do the climbing for you. They're a cool season crop, so they're forgiving even if your mobility or your schedule doesn't allow for constant attention. Number 2 is black beans. This one genuinely shocks people. A single cup of cooked black beans delivers around 15 grams of protein, which puts it in the same range as 2 chicken drumsticks. Beans grow beautifully in raised beds. They don't need rich soil, and once the plants are established, they're remarkably low maintenance. Let them dry on the vine at the end of the season, and you'll have a protein source that stores for a year or more in your pantry. Number 3 is chickpeas, also called garbanzo beans. A cup of cooked chickpeas gives you about 19 grams of protein, and the plant itself is surprisingly drought-tolerant once it's established, which makes it a great low-effort crop for raised beds where watering can be inconsistent. The bushy little plants stay compact, so you don't need a large footprint to get a meaningful harvest. Number 4 is lentils. People are always surprised lentils are something you can grow at home rather than just buying dried in a bag. A cup of cooked lentils runs around 18 grams of protein, and the plants themselves are small, low to the ground, and don't require any staking or trellising, which makes them one of the easiest protein crops for anyone who wants a no-bend, low-fuss harvest. Number 5 is peanuts. Technically a legum, not a nut, and this is where it gets interesting for anyone gardening in raised beds, because peanuts actually flower above ground and then send little stems called pegs down into loose soil to form the pods underground. In a raised bed with soft, well-draining soil, that whole process happens without any digging on your part. A quarter cup of peanuts delivers around 9 grams of protein, plus healthy fats that meat simply doesn't offer. Number 6 is quinoa. This is a plant most gardeners never consider growing themselves, but it thrives in containers and raised beds, tolerates poor soil, and a single cooked cup gives you about 8 grams of complete protein, meaning it has all 9 essential amino acids your body needs, something very few plant foods can claim on their own. And now, number 7, the one I promised you, moringa. If you've never heard of it, moringa is a fast-growing tree that you can absolutely grow in a large container or a raised bed, even in cooler climates if you bring it in for winter. The leaves are what you're after, and dried moringa leaf powder contains close to 27 grams of protein per 100 grams, which puts it ahead of almost every cut of meat you'll find at the grocery store. You don't wait months for a harvest either. You can start snipping leaves off a young plant within a matter of weeks, dry them, crumble them into powder, and stir them into soups, smoothies, or bread dough. This is the plant most home gardeners have simply never been introduced to, and it might be the single best return on space and effort on this entire list. Number 8 is hemp seeds. 3 tablespoons give you about 10 grams of complete protein, and hemp plants are remarkably hardy, growing well in raised beds with minimal care once established. The seeds themselves store for months, so one harvest can supply you for a long stretch of the year. Number 9 is pumpkin seeds, sometimes called pepitas. A quarter cup delivers roughly 9 grams of protein, and if you're already growing pumpkins or winter squash for the flesh, you're sitting on a completely free bonus protein source in the seeds you'd otherwise throw away. Just rinse, dry, and roast them. Number 10 is sunflower seeds. A quarter cup gives you around 6 grams of protein, and sunflowers are about as forgiving a plant as exists, tolerating poor soil, minimal watering, and requiring zero bending since the flower heads mature well above ground and are simple to harvest standing up. Number 11 is edamame, which is really just soybeans harvested young. A cup of cooked edamame provides around 17 grams of protein, and unlike a lot of legumes, it's considered a complete protein, meaning it matches the amino acid profile of meat far more closely than most plant sources. And number 12 is amaranth. Most people know it as an ornamental plant with those dramatic, dangling red flower heads. But the seeds are edible and protein-rich, delivering around 9 grams of protein per cooked cup. And the leaves themselves are also edible and can be harvested continuously throughout the season like a leafy green, giving you 2 separate protein sources from a single plant. So here's the real takeaway. You don't need a farm, and you definitely don't need to be out there bending over tilled rows to grow serious protein at home. Every single one of these 12 plants can be grown in raised beds or containers, with minimal bending and minimal daily maintenance. And several of them, especially that moringa at number 7, will outperform meat on a gram-for-gram basis. If you're already gardening for vegetables, adding even 3 or 4 of these into your rotation this season could genuinely change how much of your protein comes straight from your own backyard. If this opened your eyes to what's actually possible in a no-bend garden, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Let me know in the comments which one of these 12 you're planting first, and I'll see you in the next video.